Hello and welcome to this edition of Link to Logan Schools. Today we're going to be meeting and talking with members of the Berry Botics team here at Logansport High School, which is our first ever robotics team, and they will be going on to a competition in North Carolina in March. Our first guest today on the show is Mr. Kyle Dibble, one of the coaches for our robotics team here at Logansport High School. So welcome to the show.
Thank you.
So one of the big questions is, how did the robotics team get started at Logansport High School? This is the very first team that we've had.
Well, actually, it kind of started one day in one of our curriculum meetings at the high school. Emily Graham came in and said, hey, I found this grant we could apply for to get a robotics team. And everybody's like, yeah, that'd be great, that'd be great. The next thing I know, we hear that Emily applied for it, and we got a grant from NASA to pay for our first registration and a kit for our first robotics, or first robot to get started with. So that's kind of how it all really got started, and which has been pretty exciting, and it's just been a whirlwind since that point.
That's awesome. It's just an exciting opportunity for our kids and something else for our kids to get involved with, and I think we'll hear a little bit later. Well, how many kids are involved, Kyle?
Currently we have around 43 students that are actually involved in the robotics team right now. And of course with today's students and stuff, they kind of different amounts float in and out through the given days. We build Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday nights from 6 to 8, and then Saturdays from 9 to 3.
Wow.
At this point. Yep.
And how is the team structured? I know not everybody's building the robot.
Correct.
There are lots of different opportunities for kids to get involved and use their use their talents.
Yeah, we have a programming team, we have a design team, a build team, a PR marketing team, we have a project manager, and so that kind of makes up all the different sub-teams that come together as one team. And what's been really great to see is how the students have kind of fit into their kind of expertise or where they feel comfortable, and how things are starting to progress and come together to around this single robot for the competition that's coming up in March. And that's been the neatest part of the whole thing here.
That's great for our kids. I think one of the cool things is it does let every student use their strength, but it also gives them a feeling of being part of a team that really is going to have some kind of actually create something which really transfers to life after high school and being in the real world or real business world beyond high school. So it's just, I would imagine they're learning lots of different skills along the way. And
that's been one of the parts that I've been most excited about, just coming from out in the technology field out there, is seeing the hands-on experiences that the students are getting, whether it's the PR marketing, working with Lita Rouser, for instance, on how to set budgets, how to do fundraising, how to organize, how to market. There's some real world stuff that's happening there, let alone we've some very talented students on the design team working in Inventor, making 3D models and making this all come together. Again, real world stuff on a project. Project manager, learning how to put the pieces together, manage a project. The build team, hands-on, crafting, fitting, working on parts coming together. The programming team working on a product called LabVIEW that you could go to any large manufacturing company and they use this to monitor automation on the production floor. So this is a hands-on, full-blown application that they could go into a manufacturing company and say, I have experience using.
Wow, it's exciting.
Yeah.
And so the team they've had a lot of work to do in a very short amount of time. And what have they accomplished so far?
We've actually gotten 2 drivable robots at this point. We got last year's kit that we got as part of our grant, so we got that running, as well as in the background you may be able to see the other robot that'll actually be our competition is now up and running, drivable, and we're starting to work on the prototype for this year's competition for launching the Frisbees, which is part of this competition this year, which we can let somebody else talk about.
That's exciting. Well, thanks for being with us today.
Thank you.
We have next Mr. Andrew Beaver, who is also a physics teacher here at Logansport High School and is also one of the robotics team coaches. Welcome to the show today.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome. So tell us a little bit about what does this opportunity offer to the students?
What I've seen so far has been giving them real-world experience and working as a team. A lot of times kids can work in little groups in lab classes, but this is a case where you have a lot of very specialized teams that have to work together or we won't accomplish our goal. So there's a lot of cooperation when we get into our real-world jobs that these guys aren't ready for, and I feel like this is a good way to get that started. That's one thing. Amongst all the other things, like being prepared for jobs that are in this field, of course, technology. Let's see, getting some experience before they go to college, because there's a lot of stuff here that I would have loved to have known, but didn't when I was in high school without this opportunity. So it's just amazing that they can do this. And we thank NASA very much for what they've done and giving us the opportunity to do this.
Getting us started here, which is just, it is a great opportunity for our kids, and I'm really excited about it. So, but tell us a little bit about, once we get the robot built, there's a competition involved. And so what does this competition involve?
The competition is very interesting this year. Once it got up on the screen and they showed us what we were doing, I couldn't contain myself, because what we get to do this year is throw frisbees. Okay, so we're going to throw frisbees at goals that are based upon points upon height, basically. So the top goal is 3 points, a little lower is 2, really low is 1. And we're supposed to do that for about 2 minutes. Shoot frisbees all over the place. They're flying every which way. And then once that's done, we have, I think it's, ladies and gentlemen, is it 15 seconds or is it 30? 15. We have 15 seconds to return to a pyramid and to climb up the pyramid with our robot. So it's 2 completely different tasks, and I love what we've tried to do with our robot in terms of how are we going to complete either of these, if not both. Wow,
that's just amazing to me, because I'm not very technical as most people, and Mr. Dibble could surely attest to, but I can't wait to see it in action. So
I agree.
It's exciting, and I think we're going to have coming up at our next school board meeting. I think we're going to have you guys come and give a little presentation, just to, here's what we've been doing and here's what it looks like. So
absolutely,
that'll be exciting too. But you're a physics teacher, and so how does being a part of this relate back to the classroom or any other classroom?
Well, a lot of times people say physics is hard. They say they don't really understand it. Part of this is to get people to understand the properties that define our world in a very real way. Because the wiring on this, all physics, the way that the frisbee flies, all physics. And a lot of times our students don't get the chance to do that. I try to give as many labs as I can, but we don't do anything nearly as complex as this. So this gives an opportunity to show physics in motion, show it in action, and give them a chance to make complex circuits, for instance. Like over there, that thing is wired up 10 ways by Sunday. I've never seen anything like that before. But it gives them the chance to do that. And it's amazing that they get the opportunity to do that here in high school, as opposed to 3rd, 4th year in college, which is where I did that kind of thing. And yeah, it's just amazing to see all of the things that I teach in action.
That's exciting, and I really appreciate your excitement and enthusiasm for this, because it is an exciting opportunity for our students. Something that they're not going to get anywhere around us either.
And
so
it always is fun to see their faces too when they come to group, and then they look at the thing and they're like, oh my gosh, it's working. They're all excited too. So as much as we can to get technology, engineering, science into their heads as we can, that's what we need. So.
And I think helping them to understand that it's not, you don't have to go into one of those fields and just do one thing. Like there's a ton of opportunities within those fields, so it's just exciting, and I thank you for all your efforts in making the team successful.
Thanks for letting us do it. That's the real thing.
Yeah, very good. Well, thanks for being with us today, and we're looking forward to the competition.
All right, thanks.
Joining me on the show now is I have some of our PR team members. Mr. Scott Johnson, I believe, kind of helps oversee the PR team, but he has ensured me that you guys are all over and know exactly what's going on. So welcome to the show today.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So tell me a little bit about how and why you got involved in the team.
Well, I think that when they first announced that we were going to have a robotics team, it was something that was very interesting because we'd never had it before. And I think all of us have seen robotic competitions in either TV or movies. And so it was obviously something that a lot of people were drawn to.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, when you hear like that they announced that there's going to be a robotics team, I'm like, how can you not think that that's like the coolest thing ever? And really, to be a part of this great, like the entire thing is really just a great experience, and that's what I thought it would be.
Good. So you guys will be legendary because this is the very first team. So it's really exciting. So I know you guys have been hard at work because it's up to you guys to get the word out there and kind of try and help raise money for the team, because the competition is going to be a little expensive to try and get as many people there as possible, and just some other costs. So tell me what you've done so far to help as far as PR goes.
Well, our first step was obviously to identify our budget, and Lita Rouser is our mentor, and she's done a great job at teaching us not only how to assemble the budget, but how to break it down and make sure that people know exactly what their money is going towards. And our costs have been budgeted at about $14,580. And our first step in trying to attain some of that money was to send out letters to about 400 businesses, about 400 businesses in the community and in surrounding communities, to just get the word out about what our program is doing and what their funding would go towards, not only directly in the program, but how it would help the students. Mm-hmm.
And after we sent out the letters, we followed up with a call about the open meeting that is going to be tomorrow. So they
Tonight.
It is tonight.
I hope it's tonight. I have it on my calendar for tonight.
But it'll be all for it'll explain what our future plans are and how you can get involved, and it's going to help us. It's probably going to be the main way we're going to make money.
Very good. So you're going to educate people. So you said Lita Rouser's been helping you. So you've kind of reached out to get maybe a volunteer professional help to come in and volunteer and help guide you. So I'm sure you guys have learned quite a bit about what it takes to set up marketing and make a successful program.
Oh, absolutely. And I think that a lot of us are interested in either doing something in business or public relations where we would be working with people. So I think that her help has been really essential to that because she has experience in the field.
Yeah, and she's very helpful. I've worked with her on several different things. So it's great that we can have somebody like Lita kind of help out. So you're raising this money, you've sent out letters, you've got a meeting tonight to kind of explain to us what it's all about. So what does all the money go for? What are you looking to spend the money on? It's not just because you want to just raise money, you really need to raise these funds. And what will it support?
The funding is going to go, a large portion of our cost is going to be the transportation. The transportation has been budgeted at about $6,000, which is close to half of our total budget. And not only will it go towards the transportation, but also the costs of the robot and the parts and our hotel stay and our entry fee, which we received a startup grant from NASA. So a large part of our initial budget was about $20,000. But after that grant came into play, it came down to about $14,000. So that's what we're looking at right now. Everything is just going towards our competition for this year.
That's exciting. And where is the competition? It's not just around us here. We got a little distance to travel.
Yeah, it's North Carolina, Raleigh.
Yeah.
And it's actually in March, right?
Yeah, it's about the third week in March or so.
Third week in March.
Right. I think it's right before spring break.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
So that's exciting, and we want to make sure as many team members can go. Correct?
Correct.
We're looking at about 20.
We're looking between 20 and 30 team members being able to go, which we have about 40 people that show up regularly. So
that's exciting. Yeah. Just another opportunity for everybody. Well, I thank you guys for all your hard work, and good luck on raising all of that money. I'm sure you'll be successful.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Now joining me on the show today is we have Felix Sanchez, who is a project manager for the Berry Botics team. So welcome to the show.
Thank you.
And along with him, we have two other guests who oversee a couple other aspects of the team. And tell me what they do as far as the team goes.
Well, this is Salvador Orozco. He's the program leader and driver of our robot. And this is Andrew Schroeder, the leader of the design team.
Exciting. Well, welcome to the show also, boys.
Thank you.
You're welcome. So, Felix, tell me a little bit about how and why you got involved in the team.
Well, I was approached early on by Miss Graham telling me about her idea of getting a robotics team, and I was really interested in taking a lot of STEM classes. So when they told me it actually started, I was excited, and I decided I'm going to join.
Well, very good. Not only did you join, but you're the project manager, so you kind of got the big job, right?
Oh, yeah.
Exciting. So what are some of the tasks that you've been in charge in, or what have you been doing?
Well, I've been reading up on different schedules of past teams and setting up our own schedule. I've been meeting up with community leaders and different stores to try to get more funding as well.
That's exciting, and right before we went on the show today, you guys were telling me about an upcoming meeting that you're going to have. You took it upon yourselves to do, so what are you going to be doing here?
Yes, me and Salvador Orozco are the leaders of Diversity Club, and we decided to combine both the clubs to help each other out. And Tyson, we've set up a meeting with Tyson so that we could get funding for both the clubs.
Wow, so as far as this project is going, you're learning some other skills besides just working on the robot and those kinds of things. And what are some of those?
Well, I've actually been able to incorporate some of the stuff we've learned in physics and calculus into how to manage and how all this is supposed to work.
Mm-hmm. And so as far as the design team, like what kinds of things do they work on?
Well, the design team tries to make a basic layout on how the robot is supposed to shoot our frisbee, and then they give it to the programmers so the programmers could make the actual thing move and move it.
Exciting. And I can remember seeing the video from the very first time you got the prototype up and going, and everybody was cheering, and it was just exciting.
Yeah, it was a very exciting moment.
So has it been easy so far?
Some parts have been easier than others. Yesterday we spent quite a bit of hours trying to get our frisbee shooter to actually move, and after it worked, we were excited.
Like, okay, success for today, we'll come back at it tomorrow.
Yes, tomorrow, new day.
That's exciting. So are you looking forward to the competition? You think we're going to be ready to go?
Of course, we're going to do great.
Good, and I think it's really exciting too because this is our first team, and I'm very happy and proud to know that we'll be represented very well. So, thanks guys for all of your work.
Thank you too.
Thank you for joining us on this edition of Link to Logan Schools. Join us next time when we'll talk about all of the great summer programming we'll have going on for our students at Logansport Community School Corporation.
You're gonna wreck it.